Today, we're diving into one of the most emotional and beautifully written parts of Khemjira the series, episode 11. This teaser part 1 is not just a continuation of the story, it's a deeply moving portrayal of love, loyalty, and spiritual connection between Farhan and Khem. In this video, we're going to talk about how this episode sets the stage for what feels like the turning point in their relationship, where gratitude, fate, and quiet affection intertwine in a bittersweet way. Let's start with the opening scene, the offering of sandalwood flowers. After the passing of Luang Pu Kazim, the atmosphere is heavy, filled with grief but also with acceptance. The funeral scene is simple yet symbolic. We see Jet, Chan, and Khem finally taking a break from all the chaos, and that's when Jet hands Khem a white cloth. Inside, there's an infant-sized anklet made of snake skin. The moment Khem unwraps it, his expression changes, a mixture of realization and quiet sorrow. It's such a subtle yet powerful scene. Khem doesn't need to say much because the audience can feel that he knows exactly what it means and what he must do next. This anklet isn't just a prop. It's a symbol of karmic connection, a thread that ties the past and present, life and death, and perhaps even Khem's soul to Farhan's destiny. When Khem places the anklet on Luang Pu Kazim's left ankle and whispers his farewell, it's like he's closing one chapter of his journey while unknowingly opening another. His words, "I will remember this kindness for my entire life," echo with sincerity and foreshadow how this kindness will soon mirror the affection he feels for Farhan. As the cremation begins, we get that beautiful visual of white smoke rising into the sky. Farhan stands silently under a tree, watching, while the others join him. It's a rare quiet moment that lets the audience breathe, a moment of closure and rebirth. What's fascinating is the way the narrative shifts from this moment of loss to a story of rediscovery. The voiceover reveals the anklet's mysterious history, stolen, sold, punished, and finally returned to its rightful lineage. This subplot adds depth to the entire episode, hinting at how fate works in cycles. The anklet, much like the souls of its past owners, keeps finding its way home. 3 years pass, and we see the characters returning to Farhan's village after hospital treatment. On the surface, everything looks peaceful again, but this is where the real emotional struggle begins. Farhan seems fine, but the narration reveals he's suffering from something beyond medical science, a karmic illness. This detail changes everything. It explains his moments of pain, his silent endurance, and his sudden acts of wisdom and restraint. For Khem, this realization becomes a turning point. His admiration for Farhan deepens into something more personal, more emotional. Khem's quiet loyalty becomes one of the highlights of this episode. When Farhan insists that Jet, Chan, and Khem return to school, it feels like a gentle command, a teacher's way of letting go. But what makes the scene memorable is not the dialogue alone, but the way it's delivered. Jet protests loudly, Chan stays calm, and Khem just stands there, torn between duty and desire. His silence speaks louder than any words. He doesn't want to leave because, deep down, his bond with Farhan has gone beyond student and teacher. It's a connection born out of shared struggles, mutual respect, and quiet care. The moment that truly defines this episode is when Farhan tells Khem to stay behind after sending the others away. The scene slows down, the background softens, and everything becomes intimate. Khem bows his head, not daring to look up, but Farhan lifts his chin gently, a gesture that has appeared throughout the series, symbolizing comfort and connection. It's such a small action, yet it carries so much meaning. Every time Farhan does this, he's reminding Khem that he's seen, valued, and loved, not in a romanticized way, but in a deeply spiritual one. Farhan's words, "Don't cry," hit differently here. It's not a command but an invitation to stay strong. When Khem confesses that he wants to stay, the scene becomes a beautiful mix of restraint and longing. Farhan doesn't say yes, but he also doesn't reject the emotion behind Khem's words. Instead, he guides him gently, telling him not to rush, to live his life fully, and to come back when he's ready. This exchange feels like both a farewell and a promise, a soft confession wrapped in wisdom. The dialogue between them is simple but layered. Each line carries double meaning. This home will always have its doors open, welcoming you, sounds like a master speaking to his disciple, but the tone, the lingering gaze, and the way Farhan's hand brushes Khem's cheek tell a different story, one of affection restrained by time, duty, and fate. For Khem, this moment is a release. His tears aren't just from sadness, they're from clarity. He finally understands that love doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes it means trusting that the bond will endure, no matter the distance. Farhan, on the other hand, embodies quiet sacrifice. He knows that Khem's attachment to him could hold the younger man back, so he chooses to let him go with warmth instead of heartbreak. From a storytelling perspective, Episode 11 stands out because it transforms pain into peace. It doesn't rely on dramatic confessions or big romantic gestures. Instead, it focuses on small moments, a touch, a look, a line of dialogue, that carry the weight of unspoken love. It's beautifully written, showing that real intimacy doesn't always need words. The cinematography complements this emotional tone perfectly. The use of soft lighting, slow camera pans, and long silences create a sense of serenity. The smoke from the cremation scene mirrors the fading pain of the past, while the warm colors in Farhan's house suggest the lingering hope of new beginnings. The contrast between fire and calm, between loss and affection, visually captures the theme of transformation that runs throughout the episode. Another strength of this teaser lies in its pacing. Even though it covers significant time jumps, from the funeral to 3 years later, it never feels rushed. Each event connects naturally, guided by the characters' emotions rather than the plot. It gives viewers time to absorb the gravity of Farhan's condition, the meaning of the anklet, and Khem's growing attachment. Overall, Episode 11 of Khemjira the series is not just about supernatural karma or ancestral relics. It's about human emotion, the kind that lingers long after the credits roll. The relationship between Farhan and Khem reaches a quiet maturity here. It's no longer about saving each other's lives but about understanding and letting go. Their love, though unspoken, is deeply felt, shaped by shared pain, mutual respect, and spiritual harmony. This episode leaves us with one unforgettable promise, that some bonds are beyond time and reason. Whether it's the anklet returning to its rightful place or Khem finding his way back home, fate seems to be guiding every step. And just like that, Episode 11 ends not with separation, but with hope, a quiet assurance that love, once rooted in kindness and faith, will always find its way back. As we move forward into the next episodes, we can only wonder, will Khem truly return to Farhan one day? Or will destiny keep testing their connection until it proves unbreakable? One thing's for sure, Episode 11 is a masterclass in emotional storytelling, reminding us that sometimes, the most powerful love stories are whispered, not shouted.